Welcome back to The Person Everyone Needs. I'm your host, Webb Hoggard, and today we're going to talk about designing and chasing your dreams. Last week I talked about the importance of being present in the moment that you're in, and I can't stress it enough how important it is for you to be present in your life in the moment that it's living. You'll never get the chance to live it again. So be present. Be mindful of what's really happening right in front of you. Do all that you can to make sure that you are loving your spouse, your children, your job, that all those things that are happening right in front of you. And as I say all the time, but I'll remind you again, you can't be who you want to be in the next season if you're not who you need to be in this one. So I'm always looking toward the future. I'm a dreamer. I heard someone say one time that we overestimate what we can accomplish in a few days and we underestimate what we can accomplish in 10 years. So I'm constantly trying to create 10-year-old goals because I want to slide and move toward the person that I want to be. And I'm so thankful to God that He gave me that early on in my life because that's who I've been. I have constructed most of my life, seen it before it would happen because I have dreamed these things, and little by little, every single day, I move the notches toward becoming the person that I want to become. And I encourage you to do that, to write down character traits, write down dreams that you might have, write down things that you thought would never be possible, because I'll tell you, if you'll document them, and when those things start to take place, it'll blow your mind. Yesterday, I had a bunch of young people in my house helping us move into our new home. And they asked me to play the piano that I have. And I was reminded that years ago, I wrote in my journal, God, I would love to have a baby grand in my house, knowing how impossible that was. I mean, a multi-$1,000 gift, there's no way I would ever be in a situation where I could pay for it. And, that's the way I felt at the time. And one of the young people said, man, what a nice piano. What a nice gift to have in your house. I bet this sets you back a whole lot. And I was able to tell that young man, I dreamed this years ago, and a group of people gave this to me as a gift just a couple of years ago. I am playing a dream that I had at the very beginning of my marriage. My wife and I sat down one night, and we wrote down some things that we wanted to see come to pass, and one of those things was I wanted a baby grand before I died. And here I am, 37 years old, 38 years old, wherever I'm at. I'm playing this beautiful gift that's in my house. That may not mean that whole much to you. Look, I'm sure you've got some priceless heirlooms in your house. And so, well, what are you really talking about? What I'm really talking about is, do you dream? Do you have direction that you want to go? I don't just mean, do you want to go up in your career? I'm not just saying, do you want to take the next person's job that's in the conveyor belt of your life? I'm saying, are there things that you're dreaming up and believing that you can attain? Things that are out there that without God's help, there's no way you can do them. There was a season in my life where there was like dream after dream. Within a few weeks, I had like a dozen dreams that came to pass within just a short amount of time. And it was just like God was racking up and proving to me all the things that I had hidden in my heart that He could bring them to pass. And I look at that and I say to myself, my goodness, how incredible that God would honor me enough to bless the dreams that He has given me, or maybe just dreams that I've had, but He was showing me that He knows the desires of my heart and He wants me to enjoy these things. But beyond that, what I'm really reminded of is that there's nothing impossible with God, and every day of my life, I should be doing all that I can to move toward those things. So again, if I was talking to my sons, I told you last week that one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast was because I wanted to have conversations with my sons that they're not ready to hear yet. So if one of my boys was listening today, I would tell him, pick some dreams that seem absolutely impossible. Begin to believe that God will give you the things that you need most when they're most needed. But every day, pick up wherever your tent was put last night, pick it up and then walk as far as you can today in the direction toward the dreams that you want. Now, maybe your dreams are a career. You've got a certain career you want to chase after, and you want to see yourself get there. I'm telling you, if you will do that every day and do all that you can to move in that direction, get the education that you need, connect and have the networking that you need to see those things come to pass, and never give up on those dreams, I believe that it'll come to pass. But maybe you're sitting there today and you're saying, Webb, I don't really have career dreams. I want to be free one day. I'm tired of the feeling of that I've got 50 things to do every day that I don't want to do. I want freedom. I believe God can give you that freedom as well. He can give you those dreams that you have in your heart as well. Maybe yours is a family dream. Maybe it's about relationships. Maybe you have dreams that have more to do with possessions. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a bunch of people who would love to own boats. They want to own a boat. There's nothing wrong with that. I told you that I wanted to own a piano. I mean, God knows the desires of your heart. I'm not saying He's not Santa Claus. He's not going to give you everything you want. But if you are willing to pray for it and believe for it and every day do all that you can to move in the direction of what would make you ready for such a thing, I believe it's going to come to pass. Again, I've said it to you before, and I'll say it to you again. I've been abundantly blessed in my life. I'm so very thankful for the place that I'm standing here. And if I could talk to you, I don't know if you're in your early 20s. If I could talk to you, I'm just telling you, it may seem like it's going to be a long time before you're going to figure it out. But if you'll be diligent with what you have, you're going to figure it out. Don't give up. Don't stop. Keep moving every day. Go whatever job you've got, go give it everything you have, and believe that the doors are going to open when it's necessary. Maybe you're starting your family. You're in a young family situation. You're just newly married. If you're listening to this and you're just newly married, I'm telling you, you will find a better stride at some point. Say you're sorry very quickly. Ask for grace, and do all that you can to have grace with the other. But do all that you can to understand one another, because you will make it. You will make it if you would take your eyes off of the difficult parts and begin to believe for better. It's going to come. I'm not saying it's going to get perfect. I'm not ever going to say that it's ever going to be easy. But what I will say is that you will have greater understanding and knowing how to do things as you continue to move on. See that you are in process. God is working on you in the midst of this season. Maybe you're a new parent and you're wondering to yourself, are you going to be the right kind of person to lead that kid and show them what they are? Listen, I'm telling you, what the kid needs more than anything is parents who won't give up on each other and people who will constantly and unconditionally love them. This world will show you that what they really need is Disney trips, and they need to be able to play every sport they ever want to, and they need to make sure they have straight A's in schools. Those are all lies. Those are not the markers of good, well-adjusted, strong adults. What will be what they need is parents who don't give up on each other and parents who are willing to sacrifice on their behalf. That's what's going to mean the most to them in the long run. You've got what it takes, is what I'm trying to tell you. Maybe your kids are a little bit older. Maybe you are older in your life, and you're looking for significance now, and you're thinking to yourself, I've waited too late to get started. It's never too late to create significance in your life. If that's a goal you have, give yourself some time to move that way. So if I had a point to this whole podcast on today, what I want you to understand is the idea of compound interest. If you will save money over time, what you will recognize is that not only will you be able to save the money that you're saving each week, but eventually you'll be able to save more. And there'll be more money in your life that you can put aside toward it. But you've got to start somewhere. If you would like to have more freedom in your schedule, steal anywhere you can to start putting freedom in your schedule. And what you will find is that as you accumulate that little bit of freedom, you will find more places to receive that. There is a break coming financially and in your time, in your relationship. Grace is coming. But if you're not diligent in the difficult times, you won't have anything to create compound interest in those difficult times. So as a topic of financial security, if you're ever going to be an investor of anything, you don't wait till the market is ready for investors. You need to be investing every single paycheck toward the things that you want to see dividends in, and then don't stop when it's difficult, and don't double up when it's easy. I mean, you can do that, but the point is not to be a trend. The point is to be consistent. And in your consistency, I promise you, you're going to see some things pick up. So if that's a diet, look, there's going to be some seasons, especially difficult times, where your diet is going to be harder to maintain than others. So make sure that you're maintaining it in the difficult times, and you can pick up that momentum in the easier times. Maybe this financially, or in your time, or in your job, your career. There are going to be lulls in your career where you're not jumping to the next big thing every other week. And so in the midst of those seasons of lull, my encouragement to you is to take advantage of that. Every season you can, take advantage of the season knowing that there's another break coming, but you have to be diligent in every season in order to see that happen. And that is where you get compound interest. I'll try to tell you really quick a story and then as I close today, but during the march toward the South Pole, there were two men that were chasing after it. I believe the man who made it to the South Pole, his name was Amundsen. And Amundsen had done a lot of study on how to get to the South Pole. He had watched the guys who'd gotten to the North Pole, and so he decided how he was going to get to the South Pole. And he decided that he was going to do a 20-mile march every single day. When the weather was good, he was going to march 20 miles. When the weather was bad, he was going to march 20 miles. On the bad days, what he would do is it would stretch him and he would use up a lot of energy. But on the good days, he would conserve energy because 20 miles wasn't that far to go on those days. He also decided to use, I believe, ponies instead of dogs because he knew things about the weather. He'd learned enough about the thing, about what disciplines to use. Well, these two guys were sprinting to the South Pole because they wanted to be the first ones to say that they had reached it. And what happened was the guy who took the 20-mile march, the decision that every single day I'm going to go some, he made it and was the first. His name is Amundsen, and he was the first to do it. The other guy, his crew never made it. They starved to death, froze to death in the middle of Antarctica because on the good days, they would go as many miles as they could, and on the bad days, they wouldn't go anywhere. And so it's the people who are willing to get up every single day and consistently go in the direction of their dreams that eventually realize them and get to have them. I'm not saying that every single time, but today, don't waste today. Get up, go after that dream once again. You've got what it takes to do whatever it is that God's called you to do. You've got what it takes. Get up and keep walking to it. Now, if you're in your 40s and you're wanting now to be in the NBA, you may have waited too late, okay? But a reasonable dream that you know that you want, but it may be beyond you, every day, get up and walk toward that thing. Don't give up, but every day, make a decision to move toward the goal that you eventually have. And I know the people that meet and reach their dreams are the people that everyone needs.